Since we are on approach to the celebration of Halloween, I thought I would talk a little bit about the masks that we wear. I did a little research about Halloween and how it came to pass. It seems as though the search engines on the interweb tell us that a lot of what we celebrate these days for Halloween started in the Celtic tradition of Samhain, where it was believed at that time that there was a night around the 31st of October where those who had departed this earthly world came back, and that people wore masks to hide themselves from the dead to feel a sense of safety. And that tradition went on for many years. And from what I could tell, it sounds a little bit like it was mostly the Irish who brought some of those traditions to America and celebrated and wore masks and costumes. And nowadays, of course, in our culture, this practice is a little bit more lighthearted. It's a little bit more of a fun holiday, kids putting masks on and costumes and dressing up for fun and as a way to kind of play with identity a little bit, to become someone different, to become a superhero for a night and go out and, of course, trick or treat and get candy, or go to some event where you trick or treat and get some candy. So there's a lot of fun that comes with it, and I enjoy it a lot. I've always enjoyed Halloween from the time I was a little kid until the time just a couple days ago that I was here at Mile High Church handing out candy to kids from our community, from all over around the church, coming in wearing their costumes. It's delightful and fun and joyous. One of my favorite Halloweens ever was here in Denver many years ago. For some reason, October 31st, it seems to almost always snow in Denver. And I had many Halloweens as a child where I had to trudge through the snow to trick or treat. And one particular year, my mother, to keep us warm and dry, took trash bags and cut armholes in them and a head hole and put them over us so that we could stick our arms out, and then she put our costumes on us, and that way we had our costume over our trash bag. And it was a very memorable night, and it did snow, and I stayed very dry, not so warm, but definitely dry. And so there's lots of traditions that we can come up with, bobbing for apples and Halloween parties and haunted houses that go on and all sorts of things. And a lot of this is about, I think, what I found in my search about a shift in identity. And what resonates with that for me is that I think that a lot of us live Halloween almost all the time. And by that, I mean that one of the most challenging things in this world is to learn to be our authentic self, to be me, to be who I am. And not only to be that, but to present that authentic self in the world. So I'm inviting us to consider the masks we tend to wear and why we wear them, and in what situations we wear them, and what would it be like to take them off? Maybe when Halloween's over, but to take them off and to be our authentic self. Now, of course, the risks of this is that if I show who I really am, what I really feel, what I really think to the world, I may be rejected. Not everyone will agree with me. And I think that it seems like humanity, by and large, is taught through the cultures and traditions of our world, often when we're little ones, that it is more convenient for everyone else if we choose to be who they need us to be. It's more convenient for our parents and our teachers and our elders and our friends if we just choose to put on a mask and be who they need us to be. I know that growing up, I remember at one point thinking to myself, I save myself a lot of trouble. I save myself a lot of heartache. I save myself a lot of pain if I just choose to be a good girl, do what I'm told, don't rock the boat. only speak when spoken to, and certainly don't speak a different opinion than certain adults in my life. And so I learned that mask, the good girl mask, the one who always did the right thing mask, the one who was always very friendly mask, the one who always was cute and funny, but not very opinionated. All the while inside of me, there were all sorts of ideas and thoughts about who I wanted to be and what I wanted to say and how I wanted to live, but I hid them. I put the mask on, the mask so that I could fit in. So I totally understand the risk. I understand why humans choose to put a mask over our authentic self and why it would seem like it's just easier to be what they need me to be so that I don't rock the boat or cause problems or get rejected, which is very painful. And yet, what I also noticed that even with my most fervent mask on, even when I showed up and I had the perfect mask on, I still got rejected sometimes. People didn't always agree with me sometimes. It seems to me whether you're wearing the mask or you're not wearing the mask, the risk is the same. But what gets lost in the process is my authentic energy and me being the unique expression of the divine that I came here to be. It's like I'm blocking myself from being God in expression as the unique form of myself. And it takes a lot of energy. It's exhausting to constantly be editing myself and holding myself back from my authentic expression. There's a lot of freedom and flow and a freeing up of energy when I've chosen to be my authentic self. It was a long fight to get there, though. And it took being in a community, when I lived in Arizona, a spiritual community where one of the number one values of the community was being our authentic self and learning to love ourselves just as we are and to express ourselves in this way. And it was a huge shift in that community when I took risks to be authentic and found that I was even more loved and more respected and more embraced. It was like the more I really was myself. Not only did I experience sometimes rejection, of course, but the more I found my people, the more I found what was mine to do and where it was for me to go and who it was for me to be, and the more energy came into my life, there was this glowing energy of life that I could be myself and that I could trust that in being myself, I would find friends and connections and community that I resonated with and that resonated like me. I think it is one of the greatest things we do in our life at any time, in any season, when we are willing to take a mask off and be our authentic self. It is a risk. It is a challenge. And I would say that it's what we came here to be and do. And that one of the biggest regrets that any of us might have if our life ended tomorrow and we spent our life just wearing our mask the whole time is that I didn't choose to be myself. Dr. Wayne Dyer used to talk a lot about that quote that says, "Don't die with your music in you." And so today, as we approach Halloween and put on those costumes and get some candy because we're trick-or-treating or we're showing up to a party or whatever, I know that that's a fun reward to get. But I'm suggesting that we choose the rewards of being ourselves, and that we challenge ourselves to look around at our relationships and our life and ask ourselves, where am I holding myself back? Where am I not expressing myself authentically? Where am I not being the truth and speaking the truth about me and just continuing to wear a mask? And just notice if in those places there's true satisfaction and fulfillment, because I'm going to guess that there's not. And in those places where we feel we can really be ourselves, in those relationships, I know I have a few relationships in my life where I'm absolutely sure I could be anything, say anything, and the people that I'm with would still love me. They may not always agree with me. They may not love everything I say and do, but there's a deep love there that allows me just to be me. There's nothing like that. We all deserve that. We can all be that. So I invite us to make that choice. Secondly, I invite us to notice where people are doing this themselves. Honestly, I have huge admiration for the LGBTQ community, people who can come out in their world, especially to friends and family whom they feel might judge them or reject them because of their choice to be their authentic self. And I find great inspiration from people in the LGBTQ community who've stood up to be themselves and love who they love and walk the life that they choose to live. And there are places everywhere, if we look hard enough, where we can see great examples of people being themselves. Take the mask off. Be yourself. Feel the reward, the freedom, the energy of being loved for who we really are. Oh, it's wonderful. I wish it for every person on this planet. I wish it for you too. Let's pray together about this, an authentic prayer for our authenticity. Please join me now. Just breathing in the very breath of life and recognizing that there is one life, one presence, one power, one infinite energy that moves in and through and as everything and everyone, every activity, every relationship, every expression. Everything there is, every one there is an expression of this divine presence. The love, the light, the joy, the wholeness, revealing itself constantly through all, in all, as all. And right here, right now, it is the very presence living through me. My unique self, my divine self, my unique DNA, my unique thoughts and ideas, my unique way of expressing, my unique words, my unique body, my unique feelings and emotions, all of it, all of it, all of it, in and as the infinite Spirit, God, where we are absolutely, all of us, completely accepted just as we are. So I feel that oneness pouring itself through me now, accepting that oneness as my true nature and as the true nature of everyone who hears this prayer. I absolutely know our oneness, affirm our oneness, feel our oneness now. And I celebrate anyone who hears these words and chooses to walk forward and be their authentic self. And indeed, I affirm and accept that each one of us feels inspired in just a little bit more in any and all relationships to be fully expressed, to think of specific ways that we can share who we really are, what we really think, to share what we really feel, to share our creative ideas, to share the possibilities that are emerging through us, and to be our authentic self. I accept and affirm that this is the path that each one of us is on today and in the days ahead. And that in this process, we find resonance in our world with relationships and people and opportunities that call to us and that we are called by powerfully and with great freedom, because we've chosen the choice, we've made the choice, we've chosen to be ourselves, wholly and completely. And I'm so grateful for the authenticity that pours through us, so grateful for the way that the infinite pours through us in this way, so grateful for the expansive living that is ours through this choice we are making right here and right now. And in gratitude and love, I simply release this prayer now, accepting and affirming that as it has been spoken, it is done. I let it be, I let it go, and so it is.